around that emblem of that Vikendi. You're gonna have to wait and see who will get this World Cup game because these are your featured players.
Featured players, of course, April still at 9k, Jake as well as Razor here on the charts. And here we go. Just look at their stats. I believe this is throughout this tournament only. So if you see 0 and you're nervous, like, hey, it's supposed to be numbers there, don't worry. This is throughout for the grand finals only. And the flight path, it's gonna be tricky here.
More than tricky, I'd say that flight path really skewed on the west side. We've seen a lot of flight path being skewed a little bit more to the west of the map instead of going straight cut, making it fair for everybody. But no, it has to be hard for most of these players who dropping around Peshkova or Trevino have a long way to go. But that circle, that's a beautiful one. But at the content of being looking at how segregated they are, and those actually coming out from the west will have a long journey going to the east there. While Yoodo already placed himself at the southern, same goes for Papa. We're looking at multiple teams that having a huge, like a kind of decent firepower, especially on the southern side there. Most of them are actually there, but the rest of them will a little bit separated from each other. Yep, for now we're gonna have to wait and see. Will they get themselves right smack in the middle for Team Secret for the next couple of minutes here? Because why? We do know if you're playing the inner circle way too much in a very small circle, there will be so many teams trying to get that out of your hands. But while hovering around Papa are here, they are having great times. I think it's around on the southern side of a map, including this Papa R team. They're looking over none other than which is number 7, Last Survivor. They had a rough run last game, but can they actually perform way better this one out? Because we've seen them the first team to be out. They cannot drop themselves way too soon for this run as well. And hovering around Evols at the same time, just waiting for them to loot up. At the same time, looking at Last Survivor, he doesn't want to hover that one too long. He needs to be out from there. It's only one singular person of Last Survivor there. I'm surprised. Where are the rest of the team? And maybe he's actually playing the scout. Over here, we're hovering around none other than the Team No Recall and Tara. Team No Recall and Tara apparently sharing the same compound while around Port the side, Zabava, Coal Mine, and Creatures. Here we have a couple of teams sharing this, including Last Survival again. That's kind of far when we see the one man on the side of Last Survivor a little bit far away from the rest of the team. It kind of surprises me, the fact that the middle of the map is really empty. Nobody gonna drop by Villa for now, but Team Secret is actually right smack in the middle of a circle. Again, will be another Secrets game, holding and playing this circle. When it comes to holding that circle, sometimes they just do exceptionally well than the rest of a team. But we're having some of the teams that playing on the southern side have a lot of team to go and pass through there to making sure they got themselves in the safe zone.
Yep, and now we do see here, looks like Atai 10k, he does have a micro Uzi with hand, and we do know how precious a micro Uzi is. But now look at this, Cindy is just below him. And now the drop down, Cindy has been knocked down by Atai 10k. Will be finished off, and Cindy becomes the first one in this map to be sent back to the lobby. Atai 10k with that preemptive strike, getting that kill onto Cindy. Beautiful drop shot indeed.
And a beautiful micro Uzi working that one out because it's so hard to find a micro Uzi sometimes. But Atai have to be one of the luckiest ones to land himself a level 3 helmet and a level 1 vest at that. It was really close, but that and extra kill points for them. We do know they have high kill volumes before, but can they get themselves one chicken in there at least today?
They better do that. So just so that, okay, just to stamp that we can do pretty much positioning as well as killing people. But looks like we'll need to see here Team No Recall. Now they are down by one team member. They need to make a rotation to another place. And now looks like Tara, they do have Ichong inside this house. Ichong needs to get away from this. Not going to be easy for numbers. Not on his side. And Tara, they are approaching Ichong just behind the structure. Muffin just with that. Oh, yep. And there you go. Ichong will be finished off by the side of Tara. And they have this compound, unfortunately, for Last Survivor.
Now back to Team No Recall. They are really low. Stewart at the same time tried to regen. He doesn't have that much health anymore, but he got himself quite a number of utility wise. But last most Goku here, no helmet, really out in the open, kind of sandwiched between so many teams. Last survivor, they stuck again in a very bad position during the early phase here.
Yeah, last survivor here looks like really not looking good for them, but Team No Recall as well. Losing Sinbei also not a good start for them as well, but even worse for last survivor for now. They've been pinned back behind the stone. Ziggs as well as NSP. They don't have a vehicle to get away with, and we do see here they may be a flank here coming on from the other side of Team No Recall. Now, Aga trying to get a good angle here from the top of the hill, trying to find out where they exactly they are. Mosgoku looks like he will need to abandon ship. No choice but to hold on for positioning points.
And now back to Team Rico with the G36C, level 3 of everything. They want to get out from this and need covers, or maybe just finish off last survivor there if they want to. A guy already make a move, but NSP won't be revived. It's kind of hard for the Team Rico. Trying to help that one out. A guy at the same time zoning every single person, trying to actually help his teammate, but no way. Actually, they're gonna get this one now. It's Sumnus just pinning down and getting 2 kills. Simbi as a trade-off, but at the same time, it was worthwhile. Most Goku, on the other hand, will force to retreat into a very small hut here and small apartment. He cannot even flinch, not even having his helmet. That's kind of hard.
Not even a helmet. So, but 25 bandages. Okay, got lots of bandages there, but that won't last him towards the later part of the circle. I do worry for Mosgoku at this point, who needs to hang on for positioning for his team. And now moving over to Bapa R and Resurgence again. Looks like they have sight on each other, but Bapa R, they do have a vehicle each, so they are very mobile at this point. They can get into Villa and maybe loot there if they want to, but they are passing this on to the next team who may probably end up there. And yep, let's see if they do end up actually stopping at Villa.
I'm back to Bapa. They are not performing well for now, but we can always be surprised by this team. They're having a very good firepower when it comes to their communication and teamwork, but seems like they're struggling a bit when it comes to the first 2 games today. But then when it comes to Bapa, they're always a little bit late when it comes to warming up and adapt to the game. Maybe they will performing later on, but back to Resurgence on the other hand, another high firepower teams that we're talking about high kill volume every single tournament when they participate themselves into. But Resurgence, their problem is to get that positioning and to get that chicken dinner is always the bigger picture and the bigger issue for the side of them.
Yeah, positioning is it's not really their strength. I'd say their strength is probably taking fights, but not much opportunity for them to take those compound fights like what we used to see in the league. And now look at this Maisel. He's taking a really cold swim here in the waters. They still have all team members intact, but not sure where his team is at. They are having their own vehicles, but looks like he's doing the scouting work for his team for now.
And back to Geek Fam. Like, speaking of which, Geek Fam is like, well, sometimes they are performing consistently, but nowadays they're being a little bit quiet since, I don't know if you noticed, since the final week of the tournament itself, they kind of slowed down. They kind of slowed down. But UI, we see he is actually being unleashed by none other than the team. Managed to take down one on Tara.
Yep, and Yuhai looks like, yes, he's been making the leaderboards here, and yes, they do have eyes onto Tara. Tara now being pinned back down. Aisha is getting the knocked onto Links, and Arm as well. X-Arm's Link will be finished off by Aisha. So Aisha just need to finish off the business, and Arm looks like they are in trouble now. Tara may be the first one to go out if this continues on. They only have one more team member left, if I'm not mistaken. While Team Secret, they're trying to go for the flank here. iShots just trying to get a good angle, but still not visible enough for him. But Tara is not going anywhere.
Like I said, it's so hard to get and to land that shots coming out from that sniping from my shots because there's so many structures for them to cover themselves with. While Yuhai, on the other hand, you let this monster on the loose, you're gonna have a lot of problem for the other teams because this this boy, I can't even. He's not even a man. He's okay, but he's more manly than all the other players out there who's playing because he is just so reckless. He has no fear or whatever doubt for himself at all. He just never hesitate and just spray whatever he can and take all the kills by himself.
Not at all. Basically, if he wants you dead, you're dead. You know, in this sort of thing, like his
Mm-hmm.
mentality is just like I want to get that kill, and I will do whatever it takes to get that kill. Now, of course, that could be a big risk as well, just because if he goes too far away from his team members could face a problem if they want to revive him, especially if he gets knocked. So it's a high risk, high reward thing, I'd say. Now, Resurgence, they do have this compound to themselves, trying to keep an eye over the hill there in case Bigatron, who is just across them, could make their way in, and we may see a compound fight here between these two teams.
Or they can just retreat back because we do know this is kind of early for them to get too aggressive into the fights because it won't benefit neither of this team right now, especially if they're not right smack in the middle of the circle. Team Secret SPNY again hogging this circle right smack in the middle, but they didn't clutch that one out for the last game. They couldn't stand their ground back. Can they make it out this time? Well, we're looking at a couple of teams rotating a little bit late, including Gig Fam, ESG, Dingos on the side there as well, a little bit on the eastern side. Seems like a little bit. There's a lot of a little bit coming out from me. The eastern path is very clear for them, so they will be a-okay for now. Team Secret on the other end already take the high ground advantage. They're making sure they park themselves, got this fortress to work on, and it's a really wide field of vision they can get themselves here to cover every angle possible.
Yep, all those little bits, itsy bitsy bits from Choo Choo, just showing that she's not easily impressed again. And now, moving over to Matoy, he does have eyes on the side of Expert MY. They are pinned down inside this house, which is not good if you're pinned down inside this. They could go for the flank, and we have seen Team Secret doing that before. They flank you from multiple angles. They take you out one by one, or they'll flush you out. Either way, it's not going to be easy for you if Team Secret manage to surround your compound.
At the same time, it's all down to Team Secret if they really want to force this fight out because, they are actually in the middle of circle. They can actually take this compound, but at the same time, they actually want to leave that high ground advantage. We're talking about they have structure to work with for Expert MY, but at the same time, when it comes to having that visualization, it's not as wide having that higher ground. But back down to Baba with the micro Uzi on board. He's trying to get one down for Resurgence just across that map. That spray won't hit anybody with the red dot side at the same time. Trying to get a couple of tabs, but yeah, there's a lot of structure in between.
Yeah, tons of structure. Not easy to get eyes on the other side. But Bapa they do know Resurgence is there though. But, well, all of them, they're pretty much in circle, so they're still fine. So Bapa they're just spraying out. Well, pretty much just like warning sprays, I can say, just to keep Resurgence at bay so that they don't advance any further. Because we do know that Resurgence, they are good at taking compound fights. So Bapa being in the compound, you don't want to have Resurgence doing that onto you now. Six taking a couple of shots there, but he will still be okay because he is in his compound with structure to protect him.
But you don't want to be too complacent. We talk about this, Cloud. When there's some teams trying to engage towards you or force you towards a fight, you've seen how the Fallen, like we're talking about the bottom 24 back then, where they didn't even try to move or fan themselves out to get more information. That's not really a good result coming out from how they actually try to adapt to that fight. So yeah, is it okay for them to overstay themselves here? Or the rest of the teams are actually getting themselves more loots and also the positions later on, because if you're too late into the party, especially a small map, you will gatekeep. You will get gatekeep for sure.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point there. While other people are having fun looting, you are just, well, Mexican standoff between you and one more team, right? So it's really not beneficial. It's not productive as well. So I do agree that, okay, yeah, at some point you need to make a move rather than staying there and being too passive, because other teams would just stock up and will have an advantage towards the later side of the circle. So Hopefully they can do that though. They are somewhat in the circle, so they'll be okay for now. But can't say the same for Evo's VIP because they do have someone to deal with on the other side. Looks like Tara, they're taking on Evos one by one. Evos now only have 3 team members left.
Lyrian tossing a lot of firing power on that side, and including that Molotov burning everybody out and forcing them to actually get into a corner. Muffin trying to get the visualization on from different angles. Get one down. That's a nice spray there. Switch it on to G36C. I don't think that was wise, but he needs to switch it out because the magazine ran out just now. Evo's VIP tried to revive themselves among themselves, but at the same time, Tara knocked down one of the teammates. He lost a couple of members. There's only left Muffin here. Toss that smoke, trying to get covers from. Switches to Micro Uzi, get the VIP Razor across the corner. Just around the corner, you need to go and advance, but at the same time, a little bit hesitant. They have to sacrifice Lyrian at that point. They are a bit too aggressive when it's only 2 men on that side of a team, but Muffin got that car going and that vehicle will actually save him, but can he actually get out on time? We're talking about Evo's baby, all 3 men back and revive, reset themselves, and will try to actually hold that control for even further longer. Muffin on the other end will force to a retreat to find himself a better position to hold on to until the very late game.
It's almost like just looking at the minimap, like left and right. It's wherever Muffin tries to go, there's always people around him. So it's going to be tough for him to find a good position, especially if he wants the security of the compound. So he may need to settle on for a open area with his vehicle. And now moving over to Resurgence, they do have Yoodo Gang just behind them. So it looks like a little bit of a sandwich situation here for the side of Resurgence. Yoodo Gang, they are still keeping the distance. It is still 16 teams here, ladies and gentlemen. So still minimum points if any team were to lose their standing. So nobody wants to let go of that for now.
But now hovering around you high, try to toss that nade, switch it to Micro Uzi straight away, going for a prone. You kind of get the idea this one team will engage towards him. He's a little bit careful this time. He won't be too aggressive or reckless like how he used to be. Because there's one team which is Papa, one of the most fearsome team back then, number 1 in the previous standing throughout the league, but kind of fallen off the chart these days. Number 1 right now is still Dingles, and we are not looking anywhere else here. There's no Dingo so far, but Yoodo Gank, can they actually finally land themselves one chicken dinner? A lot of fans shouting out and also supporting this team here. One of the Malaysian favorites too, aside from Secret. But yep, there goes Drax trying to hover around, making sure that he covers the back angles for his teams.
Yeah, I totally agree that Yoodo Gang have not gotten their tournament kickstarted yet. So everyone's really anxious. I'm sure the Yoodo Gang fans now, they're really anxious to see their team do really, really well, especially for day 1. It's just like the momentum, right? They had a really good momentum on week 3, so hopefully they can carry on to this day 1. So far, we haven't seen yet, but then again, we have not rotated yet all the maps yet today. So this is a fresh new map. Could be a different performance here that we can see from Yoodo Gang. Now, look at this. Now, this is a migration. Last survivor, Mosgoku still hanging on there. The sole survivor for his team. Can he be the last survivor?
They were actually the first one to die. Probably not the last one to survive for obviously the last game, but this time it will be probably a different outcome for this team. Speaking of which, like I said before, this is actually a wild card game or wild card map. We don't see any particular team that actually have over dominance over Vikendi so far, but probably somebody will try to make a statement for the grand finals these days. Net Brothers still surviving while FV Unbeatable playing it very safe. They have been playing very conservative when it comes to being very quiet, holding to that compound for themselves. Speaking of which, FV, they lost Matsabu already, so I don't know, I kind of have a deja vu moment here. I did actually had a dream before where I casted this game exactly as it is. So yeah, currently we're looking over Mini 14 with Aikido. Switches over to the sniper rifle. They are trying to be very careful, but at the same time, I don't like the fact that they're being over cautious here around Goroka. waiting for the next circle to appear. I think they have to make a move right now because you guys do know why. Bigatron is just around the corner. The moment they try to march in, they have to pass through Bigatron unless they're taking a longer rotation or the further rotation there. If and even if they resort to that, they need to move right now ASAP. Well, look at MK14 drop along rifles, SMG for the tactical stock there, and a couple of more goodness inside in that airdrop. Well, Bigatron is still hovering around thinking whether to take that airdrop or not. I don't think it's wise to actually step into that frozen river in between another team, while Nat, on the other hand, already engaged to an expert MY.
Yeah, expert MY and net now just across this other. We are still at 16 teams though, so both teams they don't want to drop out. But look at this, another team actually is coming into the circle and could possibly be the third party in. But look at this right now. Apu is just trying to get a good angle here, but it's not going to be easy for them. They're just trying to just look left and right, just trying to see if they can see anyone actually running out. But the smokes is just not helping here. And the Molotov does goes out on the side of Atai and now forcing Sane to actually make a move. Sane now one-on-one with Atai, and Atai managed to get the knockdown on the Sane, and now they don't have the numbers on their side. The Molotov is the actually dead now. The Molotov is out, and now we do see here Luxy getting the one knock onto Dylan. Now they're just trading it all up. Romeo trying to get the knockdown, but it's not easy here. He's trying to get onto Romeo, but Romeo still hanging on, but not for long. Romeo have been taken out from that other floor. They will continue with the revive. They will need to reset themselves quickly.
At the same time, we're looking at the third party across there. It's none other than Evil's VIP, who's waiting for the golden opportunity to wipe everybody out. But this is a free kill for Nat. One more to add into the basket. The Resurgence already engaged toward Team Secret. We're talking about everybody going to a great migration here. Forced to squeeze into a very small area. Resurgence on the other end taking down on Bilbil and finish it off right away. Dingo's taking one out for Drax coming up from Yoodo. Secret getting on Resurgence and Blazon finish off as TJ staying way too long. Resurgence going against Team Secret, so Yoodo reverts it back to Dingos, who got themselves lost in but now being knocked down. Manparang tried to help the team, but Dingos fully shut down and shut out here. Nat will be on his knees there outside being knocked down. Yoodo try to go for more Dingos. Suddenly the kill feed is going insanely fast.
Oh, insane in it, just like the blue circle now. Will be forcing all the teams to migrate quickly, but then again, who can get away from the shots of Lord here? Lord, the shots do connect a little bit, but not good enough there. First aid kit will be popped out by Lord, but they get cancelled for the revive on his team. Now that is his priority. So as you can see here, Papa R and Bigatron, they are close by with each other. They are somewhat in the circle though, not too far away from them. And Net, they have managed to make their way into the circle with a free pass, but not for long. Eyes onto Apo. Apo have been knocked down there from afar. And now they need to save Apo, but Apo is in a tough position.
At the same time, Samson got finished off. That was a very long shot coming out from Resurgence. I am pro when it comes to sniping. I am pro knows best, and they got extra kill. That this circle is hot for Musu coming out from the outside of it, which is going to be Villa. Villa is just a tough spot to play, and they will be hovering this Resurgence. He was VIP inside of it. Yoodo managed to squeeze himself in, but there's also Papa Jenny being the scout first, going in straight away, ramping themselves into Gig Fam. Bigatron Zali joins in too, and Nax is waiting for the right time to butt in.
Oh man, someone sent the invite now and everyone sent to the party. And now Jenny looks like he's in trouble there, taking lots of damage. Now down to about 30% health, but then knocked down just right in front of him. Sent back to the lobby. Unfortunately for Jenny, Damroot will do the business onto him. 6 now. Needs backup. Trinity and Bard. They are coming about. Oh, that explosion from Sully onto Trinity. And now they are left with 2 team members. Mappa, they are falling apart. Bigatron, they are outside the compound, but they are holding this as their own.
Papa, I only have 6 for now. Bart really hoping, but that finishing off! 6 with a Gig 40, tossing that nade just now. Holy smoke, we didn't see that one coming from across 40 side there. tossing out the Molotov against Bigatron next. They are trying to fight one more team. They need to reset their magazines because it has been a lot of utilities that have been used, including that ammunition. On the side of Damroot here, they try to toss another Molotov as a lot of bombs and nades coming out from them. They are trying to gatekeep this, making sure that the teams trying to force themselves in. Bigatron will be forced out there, and they are kind of separated for now. We're talking about also FB Unbeatable, just on the outskirts of the where Bigatron is, but they cannot advance forward.
Oh, now Bigatron looks like they are in trouble here. Hydra is low. Rocky is low as well. They are bleeding out here, but it's not going to be easy to go and help them. Zolly trying to give that cover view. And now they will try to go for the revive here, as we can see. But unfortunately, Hydra will succumb to his bleeding. And Rocky is the only one left that needs to be revived. Ikuda looks like he does see Team No Recall on the other side. Trying to get the shot, but does not connect enough. But now, oh, that long shot counter attack onto Ikuda. He has been knocked down. Beautiful play indeed. That was a good revenge there. Still at 9k. Trying to find a good angle for his opponents. But, okay, does not have a good angle there. While that, his teammates just need to reset himself.
With a micro Uzi on the ready, Sumnus will have to change, but it's still okay for the level 3 shredded vest there to hold on to. But at the same time, they only have a couple of stones to work with and a couple of vegetations in between. It's gonna be okay for them. But advancing there onwards is going to be a bigger problem. Axis on the other side don't have much people to cover all the angles. Bigatron Zolly tried to toss that in here over Geek Fam. QB kind of sensed this one team here, but he tossed that in. Can it land it on QB? Clipped it a bit with the G26C already ready to engage, but he needs to heal himself for a bit. I could have managed to take down on still at 9k, 14 no recall. Didn't see that one coming. We're looking at Gaia and Sonus have to revive him. But it's kind of hard. We're looking at Bigatron, ESG, Axis, and EVOS VIP behind them. Team No Recall having it really rough.
It's just so tough. Just look at this. On the left side of the screen now, Kuza is there as well, but he needs to get into the circle, and it's so much open space. I'm not sure if you have any utilities on his side, but it's going to be tough regardless. Now, ESG, they are smack in the middle of the circle with a compound onto their advantage, so they need to use that properly, and they need to fend off opponents from multiple angles here. It's not going to be easy for them, really. And nothing is easy at this point. It is the 7th circle. Everyone needs to get in.
And when we talk about everybody, 7 teams left, 21 people alive, and nice down on Sumnus. Still at 9k as well. Bigatron Zolly won a chip of that side of Team No Recall, but our guy have to stay alive. He's the sole survivor for now. He returned the fire back and punishing whoever tried to pick the fights onto them. And Damroot trying to be super rude at a point. We're kind of missed Superlon being a Superman, but still ESG kind of have 4 men there. But Fredo, the explosion on Iron, bro, that's a huge one for his team. Gigfam return on Superlon with that kind of firing power from their side. They might just have this game as well. We're talking about ESG holding to that middle circle for a very long time.
Oh yeah, they are hanging on to this, but look at this chick. Managed to get the knockdown to Boyka and will finish it. Oh my goodness, that backup from Zolly. Boyka, though he'll be sent back to the lobby, but Zolly managed to get that 1 kill out of chick. That was well worth it. Oh my goodness, Zolly.
Oh, but it's not going to be enough because Zolly have to force himself out of here. It's a really small compound. He will deny himself probably, or even have to first aid himself first. But at the same time, the blue is not being nice to every single player who's actually not inside of the zone, of the circle. And they are being forced to move. And we're talking about a really, really small circle. The 8th phase already into the game. We have so many players still playing. 14 players alive while 5 teams left here, and nobody is actually inside of circle except for one member of Yoodo gang. This is anybody games, and now ESG anybody's game at this point, and GigFam taking down on ESG Bravo with that G26C. QB managed to pin one down, but can they finish it with a clean kill? But QB got punished instead. Solly just have to butt in the very last minute.
Yeah, Zali just had to do the business at the very last minute. Now, ESG Superland is still alive, though we have seen a great performance from him, calling him Superman. But then again, will we see a good performance again from him? Now, Yoodo Gang has 3 team members. Strax is the only one out now. Manparan has everything level 3 on his armor. But look at his damn root. Looks like he has Komburu here visiting him. But damn root, being the root one there. Taking him in now. But Bravo now is coming in. But damn root again. Managed to secure position. But no, has to be a third party in by Voki. Oh my goodness, the only one that's more root than damn root is Voki.
Voki just have to take that one now. That was a really nice kill across there, and that's a long shot distance at that point too. But ESG on the other end trying to take one down on for you to gang, but at the same time they're kind of hard to actually pin down by him alone. ESG bought up with another super line alongside of him, while Jumper trying to get him from them, but he got caught down there. Botak will be knocked down first and will be a clean kill. Jumper trying to finish that job, but it's so hard because Superlon is waiting for him to make a mistake. He climbed on top of that. Still really risky. We're down to top 3 right now, Cloud.
Oh yeah, we are down to top 3 here. 7 alive here. We do see a Supra still hanging out for his team, but just slightly outside the blue zone, I believe. So looks like he's tanking out the blue zone. Any move he makes right now will bring him out in the open, so it's not going to be easy for him. Voki now still trying to smoke out because they all need to get into the circle. I believe only Yoodo Gang is somewhat in the circle, but other than that, pressures onto RSG as well as ESG. Just so happened that they both end with G, so it kind of rhymes there, but who will get that chicken dinner?
Because we're talking about Yoodo Gang, one of the best teams out there still alive and well, but Resurgence is nonetheless one of the best firing power on that side too. They are actually very aggressive when it comes to force themselves into a gameplay. Yoodo with Resurgence on 2 teams left, 3v2 at this point, 3v3, sorry, and now they have kind of the same benefit for both teams, except for Resurgence having the higher ground. Yoodo already got smokes being popped in between there. Voki coming up from the flanks. Fredo try to cover that angle where Voki is, and Mamparang having that scope on small boy and Y2K. Jumper trying to go and rotate from the flanks as well, but the blue is closing in. We're going to a very, very painful blue here. They are forced to advance, but Resurgence knocked down one. Jumper tried to advance. He was knocked down as well. Mamparang and Fredo taking against Voki. Can it be Y2K? Survive till the end, but Mamparang and Fredo try to get whatever they have left here. Can this actually Yoodo Gang's game? Y2K is really low. There's no more circle, and it's gotta be on the side of Yoodo Gang this time, taking away the candy chicken in on that side. That was a really close game.
Oh man, just when we were talking about Yoodo Gang needs to get that win for their team, here you go, the one and only Yoodo Gang getting their first chicken dinner for this grand final. So fans of Yoodo Gang, you guys can breathe a sigh of release. Yes, finally they got their chicken dinner today. It was a good tryout there for Y2K. For a moment there, I thought that maybe he could just heal it up, just to win that by healing. But then again, Yoodo Gang have the numbers. The moment they got one knock, they got the second knock. They know they have the advantage. They rush in, they try to clear it off, and there you go. The reward is of course a very yummy chicken dinner.
A very cold one, but yet very yummy and warm inside. Because we're talking about Yoodo Gang, one of the most consistent team out there. Speaking of the battle power and also their map persistence and how they adapt to it. The thing is, just now it was really close call. We're talking about 9th phase of the game. It's so hard to see these players to get themselves too late into that game. They're talking about no more circles at that point, and everybody who has themselves extra utilities can actually win that game. That was a close call coming from Resurgence. I thought they had it for a moment. The way the blue closes in is actually hitting Yoodo first.
Yeah, it was really close. I do agree with that. It does look like at some point, because of how the blue just closes in and forces Yoodo Gang to actually come out. But then again, the moment they come out, they got one knock onto small boy. That's their big advantage there. Because by the time they know, oh, we have the numbers, then it's numbers against 3 against 2. So they have lesser fear and they want to advance. So that is actually their defining moment. If researchers actually maintain their 3 team members not getting small boy knocked off, then maybe that will give more pressure on the Yoodo gang to make a mistake, perhaps.
Well, then, that kind of a moment is like any